So, hello to everyone. How many do we have right now?
We have 66.
66. So have you shown them some videos or
Yeah.
not? Oh, we did that. Fantastic. So, I want to tell you all that, turn the lights on, that we are celebrating the fact that we have been around and that I can really bring more understanding to more people about the potential that the body has to improve. The potential, except for the hackers, they don't have much potential. Yeah. The potential and the flexibility of your brain. And the most important thing that I want to talk about today is vision improvement. So I want to actually start, because I'm sure that some of you have your own question about vision. I want to start and ask if any one of you have question about your eye condition or about vision. We'll give you 10 minutes, and then I'm going to talk about eye exercises. So anybody has question, please raise your hand. Unmute yourself, and Kyle will let you talk to me. Anybody with a question?
I do. I do.
Okay. Okay, let's hear all over the screen.
Hello?
Yes. Oh, good. You are seeing you. Good.
I have a question.
I'm listening.
Okay, so about 5 or 6 years ago, I had hyperthyroid, and my left eye, the optic nerve got really affected. But I do homeopathy and everything, so I'm all better now with my thyroid. But the left eye, because it was the first one affected, it still is a little like in the optic nerves, so that when I'm reading, my eyes are imbalanced when I look at the page, and it's a little blurry or fuzzy actually no, the left eye is better vision, but the right eye is weaker, and then but the optic nerve in the left eye was affected. So I don't know. I'm just saying is that they're imbalanced.
I understand it very well. I can give you another case I had. There was a lady who came to me with multiple sclerosis, and she had an attack on her left eye, which was always the eye she used, and her right eye was a lazy eye. And as we worked, we were able to get her brain to use the right eye. So she improved from seeing 5% into seeing 75% and being able to drive. Now, in your case, there was some damage to the optic nerve. I think that quite often we can actually recuperate the optic nerve with the correct exercises. And I want to ask you a question about the left eye that sees better. How it's the periphery of the left eye?
Bad.
So that's a lot of what happened, that you lost some periphery, and we can definitely gain that back. That you lost some periphery, and a result of losing the periphery, there's a lot of effort with the central part. And so we have to really gain the periphery back. I would love to see you for sessions. I definitely would work on your middle back and on your neck to loosen them up. And I would definitely help you gain some periphery back to make it easier for the visual system to work.
Okay.
So the point is, what they don't have in conventional medicine is physical therapy for the eye, because they don't understand how to work with the brain. And the eye, to a great extent, is a part of the brain. But I've been doing my work for more than 52 years. And I can tell you that with brain exercises, we can definitely improve many parts of the visual system. And I'm confident we could have good achievements with you. Okay, another question?
Dusty Rogers.
Okay, can you put the person on the screen?
Hi. Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, nice to see
Hi.
you.
Hi, so I'm 46 and I have had an astigmatism, but also a lazy eye, what they called it when I was little, where my right eye will wander. So I have double vision a lot. And when I was young, I went to therapy a couple times a week and I learned how to keep it straight. I was gonna get surgery where they said they would cut the muscle to tighten it. but I had to put on like the prism glasses that would make you see double until I could pull it in to be one all the time. Well, as a kid, that was really difficult and it made me extremely nauseous. So I never really wore the glasses consistently and thus never
Do the
got,
surgery? Did you do the surgery?
no, they actually never did the surgery. So I've just gone through my life
Great.
in,
Hold on. It's great you
Okay.
didn't do the surgery. Really is.
I agree.
So you have diplopia, what they call double vision, and a
Yes.
lazy right eye, I assume, right?
It's my
Basically,
right eye and it will go, like it's visible if someone's looking at me, it will wander off. So I have to
You're
constantly.
nice looking. Don't worry about your looks, okay? You're very nice looking. So
Thank you.
anyway, what I wanted to say is, we shouldn't call it lazy eye, although that's the term. We should call it lazy brain, basically.
Mhm.
The brain is not using that eye. And I really believe you can, within a year of good training, get back to perfect vision and completely eliminate your double vision. No question in my mind. Okay, I worked with many cases like this, and double vision can go away, definitely.
That'd be
Okay.
amazing because it's hard to even drive, you know? I mean, it's,
No, I understand that point. I mean, you put so much effort on your right, on your left eye. Pay attention. Let's everybody understand her problem, but it's the problem of many. Stand on one leg, just on one leg. Okay, so stand on one leg.
you want me to right now?
One leg, everybody, stand up and stand on one leg. And now put the leg on the ground. You can see what a relief it is to stand on two legs, right? The situation is that one eye overworks. So like the previous question, that part of the eye overworks. So whenever we don't have full activity of the eyes, we come into big problems. And that's what we want to solve with this work. Okay. All right. Any other question? We'll soon get out of the questions, but I just want you to know that when we finish at 12:30, I'm available on the phone for any question that can come my way. So don't think that your particular questions would not be answered, but I'm enjoying hearing people being open, telling about their case and asking questions. So go ahead.
We have a lot of questions, and Anne Marie, I believe, is next, from what I can figure out.
Is it possible for you to let Kyle decide who is next, but we'll work with Anne Marie.
Okay, go for it.
Thank you. Hi, I have a bit of I had LASIK eye surgery about 12 years ago. So I had myopia and astigmatism, and unfortunately made a decision to undercorrect my right eye. And so that was done, everything was fine. So my left eye was, I guess, more using, I guess, doing longer distance work. A couple of years ago, I had a bit of a neurological event where I had some cranial nerve deficits, and I've been left with a left.
How did the neurological event happen?
I don't know, and I don't have a cause. I just turned 40. I had so a week prior, I had an MRI at the time that ruled out a stroke. And one of the main concerns the medical team had was ruling out multiple sclerosis. With my symptoms, I'd had paresthesia of my face. I had a few cranial nerve deficits that resolved over a week or so, but I was left with a fourth cranial nerve palsy, which took a long time to be diagnosed. And I still have that. I've got glasses that have really helped my functionality. So my eyes have been evened up again in terms of vision and my script, I guess. And I have some prisms that assist with dealing with the fourth cranial nerve palsy. but I'm just curious if you've had any experience in
Well, let
terms
me
of
ask you a question. By the way, what country are you from?
Australia.
Yeah, it sounds by the accent, by the way, it's a beautiful
Yeah.
accent. So yes, I have experience with cases like yours. They're weird and different, so normally those come to me. So what I want to say, there's a lot of work to do in your case. First of all,
Mhm.
we don't want the palsy to remain there. So I would work with you a lot on the fourth cranial palsy. What are your symptoms? Do you have any problem in your face, in your neck? What's your problem?
Yeah, so I do get I guess one of the biggest things is I get really bad, like I get pain coming, I feel it through my eye to my brain, and I guess I call it kind of craniopathy related headaches. So I do get quite headachy, I get extreme fatigue. Before my glasses, I was just low level functioning, getting through the day, just doing basic stuff.
Do you have my book,
And
Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing?
I have one of your books on audio, which I haven't yet delved into, but I just really wanted to, I saw this opportunity to
So
go
we
in
definitely can
today.
help you. I mean, the best thing you can do is come to San Francisco and work with me. I don't have yet plans to go to Australia. I did in the past, actually. I went to Sydney several times, but I
Okay.
don't have any plans to go to Australia right now. I would love to. But I have my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. Have you seen that book?
Okay. I have seen one of your books. I've got one of them on audio.
This one. Have you seen this one?
Okay.
You can get it also on audio. I would recommend that even if you get an audio, you can order from us or from
Yeah.
better, cheaper from Amazon. Get this
Okay.
book and work with the chapters one by one, from breathing to movement, because what you need is energy. Otherwise, you can remain with no energy, and that can lead also to depression, which then leads to lack of motivation to work on yourself. So you need to, first of all, have energy, have better blood flow, and you also need to work a lot on the palsy with self. Why don't we all do a little bit of massage, all of us? Massage, first of all, your hand, everybody, like this, you know, with your palm, and then put one hand over the other and massage your head in rotating motion in both directions. Can you do it without your glasses?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie, can you do it without your glasses?
Yes, I've got my glasses off. Yeah.
Good. So you put one hand under the other and you move, and you can also stay in one place and in another place. By the way, I want to tell you that you can recover at any age and for many, many problems like you're describing. The only mistake you made is make the LASIK surgery, which
Yeah, I regret.
so many, you know, I brought my DVD, Yoga for Your Eyes. Can you get me Yoga for Your Eyes? My DVD, Yoga for Your Eyes. And at times, it was really a best-selling DVD. It sold for Sounds True, the publisher, 1,000 copies a month for 7 months. It's a great, yeah. But I've discovered in the US alone, they do 3,000 surgeries a day, LASIK a day. So I could not stop people from doing LASIK no matter what I've done about it. But basically, they make glasses out of your cornea and they compromise you. And there's no incision that doesn't do something hard to the body. So for that reason, what is important for me is to help you right now. And the exercise of blinking is so good for you. The palming that we're going to do today is so good for you. And start to work with my video, my courses online, and the book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. And I had some people coming to me from Australia, and they love doing it, and they love to do the work. So in a way, San Francisco is the closest you can get to Australia from the United States. It still is 15 hours flight, right? So that part is not good. But if you can come here and work with us, that's the best. And otherwise, the class is online. And let's work with Zoom. We can do a lot. We can accomplish an awful lot because there's a lot of work
Okay.
to do.
Oh,
thanks.
thank you very much. Appreciate your
pleasure.
time.
So I am going to start and give my lecture, and all who have questions, please keep them for later because I'll give a space for it. So I just want to say a few things about me. And after talking about myself, I will want to explain to you the principles of my work. So I was born to deaf parents. My two parents were deaf, and I was thinking, and I was born with cataracts. And most people know what cataract is, so let me remind you, it is opacity of the lens, not anything around the eye, but within the eye, opacity of the lens. And there are different reasons why I was born with cataracts. I think that it has to do with the fact that my father was hiding the fact that he was making pictures for churches. It was funny, a Jewish deaf person was selling the Trinity to churches. That was illegal under Stalin's rule. So he made it hidden in our apartment. But the result of it was that I had a bunch of chemicals that basically poisoned my mother at pregnancy and poisoned me in infancy. And I was a very weak infant. And I had a very massive cataracts. By the way, it probably changed my genes because my two kids were born with cataracts as well. And I passed through 5 surgeries, which were very unsuccessful. To show you my pictures of the surgeries, this is my lens versus the normal lens. This is normal lens, this is mine. And one wonderful doctor that actually wrote a good recommendation about me said, it doesn't matter how your eye looks from the outside, the question is what you see from within. And I completely agreed with him. So when I started, I had 1% vision. I was dependent on Braille. In fact, I was the quickest Braille reader in the state of Israel. Already from 6th grade on, I depended on Braille. And by the way, I was known as the blind kid of Ida and Abraham. I was sometimes not such a good kid, but I was a good kid when my mother took me to all of her girlfriends, and they would speak in sign language and did all kinds of things together, like sewing material. I would sit down with my Braille book and read it, and only was interrupted with some of her girlfriends giving me sweets, basically. So I was a good kid, didn't disturb anyone, was into my Braille books. But at a certain point, I didn't like the fact that I was nearly blind. And I dreamt about a surgery that will save me, but nothing like this existed. And I remember going to doctors and asking for it in my teens, and nothing like this existed. And then I discovered eye exercises. And this is one of my big beliefs, that when you have pain over your conditions, you get their answer. That if you don't hurt enough about, because, you know, some people are blind and they get used to it, and that's perfectly fine. But if you don't hurt enough about your condition, I had many reasons to hurt over my conditions. My circumstances were that I had an inclusion class. So basically I was with other kids, and then when the classes were ending, I would go to specialists who would teach me Braille and help me deal with homework. And kids have not been very nice to me when I was growing. And I was trying to be like them, which meant I would try to play with them. I would end up banging against walls, falling from unfinished buildings, riding bicycle, hitting trees and people, whatever have you. I've done everything that I could possibly do to be like them, but wasn't like them. And the result is that when I was taught eye exercises, my psychological motivation was there. And I spent hours upon hours every single day. Whatever I've done, I also did eye exercises. And the result is that today I read, write, and drive. And my vision is not normal, but it's 70% of normal vision. And the result of that is that I had the feeling that my mission in life is to help people improve. Because the establishment doesn't help people improve. Now, let me just qualify what I'm saying. I'm very much behind very good advanced work that the medical profession is doing. But what they're trying to do is to keep a passive client. My clients cannot be passive. They cannot come to me and say, Meir, fix me. That's not how I work. They can come to me and say, let's work together on the issues. And then we work together. And then I give them some knowledge. They come back to me with questions. And some of them even educate me about their condition with time. But my book, Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing, has 600 exercises. And the big thing is that the first part of the book, which is the bigger part of the book, teaches you how to prevent many problems. But I'm with you if you have headaches. I'm with you if you have arthritis. I'm with you if you have paralysis. And of course, I'm with you if you have vision problems. So this book describes all that. And so that's how I started my work. And I must say today, the most known book that I have is called Vision for Life. It's in 20 different languages, including Hebrew. I'm going to go to Israel rather soon, on June, and teach a bunch of classes. But Vision for Life is a small book that really works with quite a few problems, from nearsightedness to farsightedness to astigmatism, to neurological problems with the eyes, to retinitis pigmentosa, and oops, I forgot to write about macular degeneration, but some exercises there definitely work with it. But I do talk about macular puckers and macular holes. This book, Movement for Self-Healing, is the second part of my first book, which was called Self-Healing, My Life and Vision. And it tells you how I started to do my work. So my work is extremely unique. It combines many other methods, but it's extremely unique. And so far, it helped many dozens of thousands of people. And that's why I'm here with you today to talk to you about how to improve your vision. And before I talk about that, I just want to announce something which is very dear to me, because I've never did it before. If anyone wanted to train with me, they would have to spend hours upon hours to train with me to become practitioners of my work. But I have a new course which I call Vision for Life. And it's based on my book, Vision for Life. And that course, by the way, the book Vision for Life is called Meir Schneider in Hebrew, which means giving, is giving light. And that's my name. Einaim is eyes, so giving light to the eyes. So that's the base of the work. And people really have to know the book from beginning to end. They really have to know the book well. But if they do, we have 5 days of intensive work, 8 hours a day, every day, on our own eyes. And then we're working with some bodywork techniques and body techniques to improve ourselves. And then we can even be guide for others. We're not practitioners at that point. I didn't qualify anyone to become a practitioner, but you can be a mentor to someone else who wants to work on him or herself. So that's a big thing about the course, because we are in a situation where, first of all, so many people have less circulation. Less circulation with time equal blindness. Most conditions that lead to blindness in old age are a result of poor circulation to the eyes. But then it means poor circulation to the whole body. And we need to do whatever we can do to increase our circulation. I found out that people who don't work on themselves with time don't have even motivation to move. And I would like to distinguish between the word move and between the word exercise. I had a wonderful runner who came to me once. His name was Colby, fantastic guy. And he was a runner who ran 11 miles a day, every day. So that's admirable. Except one time, he worked in a washing machine factory. He lifted a washing machine and had hernia. And the first thing I told him is to stop running. He couldn't believe it because he said that everybody, runners are very tough. You cannot tell them stop running. But that's the first thing I got him to do. And of course, then he returned to running. And of course, I taught him how to run with less effort, which is basically something so simple. To learn to move, I'll get the chair out of the way for that. To learn to move heel to toe when you run and mobilize your knees, right? So I taught him to run without putting a lot of stress on one part of his legs, and that changed it completely for him. But in the meantime, I was able to help him fix the hernia. It went back to place with no surgery or anything of that nature. The body can create natural scar and unite the muscles together. That was a very, very important thing that I've learned. This is the difference between movement and exercise, because you can be frozen to exercise if you do. And if you want to see frozen people, go to gyms. Go to all those people who build Herculean muscles with incredible amount of effort. And the result is, okay, they build them, but they stiffen their body. And they tense the body. And therefore, what they're doing is hard work to freeze themselves where they are. Our job is to learn to not be frozen. Now returning to vision. We looked at screens already quite a bit until 220. More and more every year, more and more problems came from that. Now, as of 220, with all the scare of the pandemic and what happened to us, what people did is looking at the screen much more than ever before. And the result of doing that is tensing the eyes. So what I need you to do is, for a moment, rest from the computer, look out of the window, which I'm going to do myself, and wave your hands to the side to just rest your eyes. Okay? So look out of the window, look far away, rest from that computer of yours. Wave your hands equally to the side and rest the eyes. That is so important because the eyes become really tense from looking from near a lot. So rest your eyes. And the result of that tension is many more eye problems. Many, many more than ever before. It used to be an anomaly that somebody would have glasses in class. Now more people have glasses than not. It's like a hat, basically. It's a normal thing. People have glasses. And that means that for every time you go to an ophthalmologist, especially optometrist, and you show that you don't see well, you don't see 5% as much as you should, according to them, they immediately give you glasses. And the glasses cause a lot of problems because they have a focal point, and you have to look through that focal point. The eyes don't move as much. And it leads to a frozen gaze, which is very difficult for the eyes. And then the next thing is contact lenses. They don't have the same problem because you can move your eyes all you want with the contact lenses, but they don't allow you to breathe. The cornea needs air. And they also should be rejected by the eye because the eye should reject any foreign object. But the way you adapt to the contact lenses is by weakening your immune system so you don't reject them. And then you're subject for all kinds of problems. If there's a little stent in your eye, you'll have a red eye instead of for 1 hour, for 2 days. There's a lot of problems happening. Now, worse than contacts and lenses is LASIK, because LASIK makes glasses out of your cornea. And that's a very, very bad thing. And so the best thing to do is to devote the time that it takes. That's why I'm saying here, 8 hours a day, every day, for 5 days, like a boot camp. We devote the time that it takes to improve your vision. And then you can't stop doing it because your vision improved and you don't want to go back, so you keep working on yourself. for as long as it takes until you can see way better. And there are phases. We ask people to have a correction with the lens where they would have 80% of vision instead of 100% of vision. The DMV allows you to drive with that. And you get used to those glasses, and before you know, you see 100% with them. So then you reduce them again. And then slowly but surely, the glasses remain in your pockets. And if any prescription is left, is very small or none. And some people see better than they saw before they had to have a prescription. So I want to talk about the 10 principles of natural vision improvement. And we're recording this, right? So it's being recorded, minus the obstruction that we had, right?
Yeah.
What do you call it? Mazda hacking, yeah. Those people, I can't believe they hack self-healing. What don't they have? But anyway, so what I want to say is this. The number one thing is never strain to see. And I mean by that, never ever strain to see. Now for me, there's a little bit of strain here because the lamp is here and already does something to my eyes. But in order to be seen well by you, I have those lamps here. Second part is really, really relax your eyes. I must say that I have an addiction. I have two addictions. One is I'm chocoholic, sorry to say that. And that gave me some pounds I shouldn't have. But the other one is I'm a palmaholic. I love to palm. Just today, I sat down for an hour and a half and palm. You just give me nothing else to do. I will listen to a textbook, to a podcast, or sometimes just to my breath and sit down and palm. It's a fantastic exercise where basically the palms really, really relax your eyes in depth. We'll do some of it when we finish, as I normally do in my classes. But palming doesn't always work. Sometimes the person could be very upset, very nervous. The hands will not relax the eyes. And so then you look more at a distance. Then you run. Then you write a journal. You talk to a psychologist. But don't put nervous hands around your eyes. They have to be relaxed first. And if the hands are relaxed, they really take away the depletion that the eyes have. Okay, the next thing is, let's turn it on. The next thing is, we turn this off. I'll do it. There we go. So so relaxing that is very important. The next thing is adapt to all light frequencies and all light amplitude. And a wonderful exercise that we do. And if we had a lot of time, we would have done it here. Maybe we should do it here because many of the people from the United States in this session.
I'm sorry to tell.
Hard to tell.
I have no idea.
Yeah, for some people it's dark now, but I just want to know the exercise. So we don't have the ability to do it because I don't know how many people it's dark for them right now at night. But sunning is that I face the sun with my eyes closed and I move my head all the way from side to side. You know what? Those of you can go outside for a short moment and move your head from side to side facing the sun. I've done it a lot today. It was so wonderful. I always feel happy when I face the sun. Again, the eyes are closed. We move the head from side to side. We massage the eyebrows. We move to one side. The eyebrows we move to the other side. So with my right hand, the right eyebrows, left hand. And to make sure that you don't have tension in your neck, you move the opposite shoulder. So what happens is you do a full movement of more than 180 degrees. You move the opposite shoulder and you move from side to side. Okay. Okay, so that's an important thing. Do some of you have immediate access to the sun? Yes, no? I'm not
Some
here.
people nodding their head.
Okay, go to the sun. We'll give everybody else a break for 2 minutes and come back. I'll do sunning myself. Yeah, that's that. Okay, I hope that those who went to the sun really enjoyed it. But those who didn't, you can do it tomorrow, okay? So I talked about adapting to the sun. So when I face the sun is bright. When I move away, it's dark. And the dark and the brightness really helps my pupils, helps my retina. By the way, it reduces eye pressure by like 3 points within 10 minutes of doing it, which is a fantastic thing. Of course, it's temporary, and then it takes time to do it again. But then at the same time, we need to adapt to the dark of the night. Now, these days, out of safety reasons, most people don't walk at night, anywhere. But going to the park at night, I'll never forget, there was one lady who came to me with a real severe disease called retinitis pigmentosa. She came all the way from Australia. And she did work with another teacher who helped her see better, so she got rid of her glasses. But she couldn't walk at night because the retina is destroyed, especially in her case, the rod cells, the cells which are around get destroyed. And so we worked quite a bit, and then we walked in the park. And it's the first time in 5 years she could walk at night, which was a fantastic thing. So what I want to say is that night walk is very important, and adapting to the dark is very important. And one way for the eye to get worse is to have light in the corridor. Try to be in the dark at night. It's much better for the eye. The next thing is looking at details. This is one of the most difficult things to explain, but in the center of the retina, there's that area called macula that sees very well, but only sees 1.5% of the total visual field. And if your brain is not engaged in seeing small parts at a time, then what happens is your vision cannot be so clear. So the vision becomes clear as we look from detail to detail. And we have many, many exercises. We use an instrument which we call shifter, which is this, where people look up and down the lines. I remember I used to look at windows and look from window to window. When I was teaching other people to work on their eyes, I taught them to wear glasses of obstruction. Let me see, where are they here? Glasses of obstruction when they walk outside and they look at windows and look from window to window and look from area to area. So basically, learning to use your weaker eye and learning to look at details becomes a very important part of seeing better, without which I would not ever been able to see. Because I learned whenever I would like to look at the braille that I was reading, my teacher said, look away, you don't see much anyway, feel. Well, that was a very bad order to my brain. So I learned to do the opposite, to start and look. And I must say, my partner from Quebec, Jeanne, she always gets me to look at details. And sometimes it drives me crazy, but it always improves my vision. So it's a fantastic thing. Okay, then the next, and I just now worked with a beautiful girl from Germany. Actually, I saw her in Quebec. And we kept getting her to look at numbers and look at details. And it definitely improved her vision. Okay, the next principle is distance vision. People have cataracts, not for all the reasons the doctor tell you wear sunglasses to not have cataract. Sunglasses never prevent cataract. Look how many people wear sunglasses and look that all of them have cataracts. No, you prevent cataracts by looking at the distance, because the lens of the eye is meant to look from near and from far, mainly from far. But today we look mainly from near, at tablets, at phones, at screens. So, and even before that, we looked at book a lot. We don't look enough at a distance. By the way, it's not a coincidence, or maybe it is a good coincidence, that our center is by the beach. We will look at the waves. And on the way to this class, to be inspired to teach the class, I walked by the beach and looked at the waves. It was fantastic. It made me energetic. It made me feel like myself. And so you can see that being outdoors and looking at the distance, at mountains, is so freeing. And being indoors, and today we call our indoors dwelling. In the past, it was just shelter, but now it's our dwelling, being indoors and always looking at computers. That's a very hard thing for the eyes. So I would really recommend for people to look 20 minutes at a distance, intervals of 4 to 6 minutes each time, before they use a computer, in the middle of using computers for a few hours, and after using the computers, and wave the hands to the side to relax the eyes. That is a very, very important thing. Next, we want to expand our peripheral vision. Many people narrow their peripheral vision because they look at smartphones. For example, you probably all saw all those people who walk on the sidewalk. They look at the smartphone and nothing else exists for them. They don't know that anyone is around them. Well, that is a reason for glaucoma, if you ask me. It narrows the eyes in a big way. So we need to learn to look in a very free way, not to narrow our periphery. So expanding the periphery is important. The next one is balanced use of the two eyes. I'm not saying balanced strength, but balanced use. And what happens often, one eye overworks instead of the other, and neurologically suppresses the other eye from working. And that's why I've shown you already, but there's so many other exercises. This one, yeah? And the one I need you for today is, by the way, to take a small piece of paper, we've given them that sense, right? And to put masking tape all around. I can show you how you do it. You take masking tape and you round it. So then you can put it on the paper and on your nose. And the idea is to block your strong eye from near or from distance. But balanced use of the eyes is so important because otherwise one eye overworks and the other one underworks. And the next principle is balance use within each eye. Then the next principle is body-eye coordination. And the last one is more blood to the visual system. So let's do some exercises. First of all, let's get a little bit more blood to our visual system. Move your head in rotating motion in both directions. Then massage your scalp. Separate the scalp from the skull and massage the skull as you are sitting and breathing. You can pull your hair a little bit, but mainly massage the scalp. If you pull your hair very, very gently, yeah. Now see how it is to move the head in rotating motion. And for some people, it's easier. Now tap on your chest. I love to do it with bunker balls. So tap on my chest with bunker balls. And tap on the ribs, and I love to tap between the shoulders. It's the bunker ball, it's a fantastic thing. Chest between the shoulders. Yeah, you're gonna love it. Tapping on this very strong guy feels good, doesn't it?
That was great.
Yeah. So this is a good thing to do. And now see how it feels to move the head in rotating motion. And it's easier. So now tap on your abdomen and say the word center. I want to hear all of you saying it. Unmute yourself and say center. I don't hear anyone.
Center.
Center. Everybody. Center.
Center.
I don't hear enough of
Center.
you. Center. Center.
Center.
Center.
Center.
Center. Tap with your left.
Center.
Your legs against the floor and say center thigh, center thigh.
Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh.
In rotating motion. And let's do the next thing. Center thigh. Center thigh. Everybody, center thigh. Center thigh.
Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh. Center thigh.
And have a seat. Yeah. Center thigh, center thigh.
Center thigh, 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 center thigh.
Center thigh, center
Center
thigh.
thigh, center thigh, center thigh, center thigh.
Tell me. I don't move the head right now. And massage the head again. And we'll continue with talking about vision. So did all of you make this page with large and small print? Did you send them this page? Did all of you downloaded this page, or not many of you? Do you see how many people raise their hands or not?
Probably.
Okay, so we have page with two sides. One is for people with very poor vision or legally blind. One is for people with normal vision, right? And it has different, but if you don't have it, and you have my book, Vision for Life, it's in Vision for Life. Jean, do you know, can you tell us which page it is in Vision for Life? Good. I found it. It's on page 102 for people who are legally blind, and it's on page 104 for people who have normal vision, and 105 as well. So if you don't have the page that Kyle sent, but you do have my book, Vision for Life, you have those pages right here. 104 and 5 for most people. Okay. So right now, I want you to look at the page. Do many people have pages right now?
Yeah.
I want you to look at the page and see which, without glasses, without contacts. I wish I could tell to those who had LASIK without your cornea, but I can't tell you that. Okay, so take a look right now at this page and see what you see well and what you don't. So let's say, I would say that most people can see number 4, 5, pretty good. Am I correct about it? But then 6 becomes a challenge, 7 becomes even more challenge, and 8 for most people is impossible. Although I must tell you, I went yesterday to State University with a bunch of youngsters, and almost everybody saw number 8, which was amazing. Also, I found that a group of farmers, almost everybody saw number 8, but most people, 7 is considered to be 100% vision. 3 and 4 is what most books are writing. So 5 is more like medicine bottles. But take a look at print that you can read. Now, again, remember that one of my biggest requests for you was no effort, no effort, no effort. So blink gently, look away for a moment, and look back at the print. See how it looks to you. Now, stand up and move from side to side and think as if everything moves opposite than the way you move. In fact, I'm pointing my finger and comparing to my finger, everything moves opposite. I move to the right while everything moves to the left. I move to the left while everything moves to the right. And I breathe deeply and slowly. All the way from side to side. Think that everything moves opposite. You move to the left, everything moves to the right. You move to the right, everything moves to the left. You can look at your finger this way, which is horizontal. Look up, all goes down. You look down, all goes up. And we can look at the 2 fingers, so we can look up and down this way, And everything moves up with it. When I go down, it goes up. When I go to the left, everything moves to the right. And I move from side to side like this. And from side to side. Okay, now sit down. And of course, the best light is the sunlight. You sit in the shade, this is in the sun. But tell me, how do the print to you look now after moving a little bit? Did it make any dent or any difference in the clarity of your vision?
Yes.
Wonderful. So now look at print that you're very comfortable with. Whichever size that you're really comfortable, you could easily read books that way. Now look at print that you can see, but you're not so comfortable. But don't try to see it well. Don't strain to see it well. Look at the spaces between the letters in that print. And now look at print, which is even harder to see, but look at the spaces between the words. And now look at print that you cannot even see the space between the words, but more between the lines. And now close your eyes and let's all of us say, the ink is black, the page is white. Everybody out loud.
The ink is black, the page
The
is white.
page is white. 3 times. The ink
Ink is black, the
is black,
page is
the page is white. The ink is black, the page is white. Open your eyes and look again. Now look back at the print you read originally and tell me, how does it look like?
very good.
Now, take this paper. My right eye is my stronger eye. My daughter's left eye is the stronger eye. So everybody has their eye, which is stronger. Now I'm standing near the lamp to give myself the most vision I can. And I wave my hand to the side of the right eye. So my right eye doesn't close. My right eye is open. And I'm looking at the print. And of course, the weaker eye doesn't see what the stronger eye sees. Don't even think it does. But then look from letter to letter, whatever letters you need to look at, or whatever letters you need to look from letter to letter at the page that you can see well. Now, put it upside down with your weaker eye, and look from letter to letter that way. Wonderful. Put it back right side up. Keep reading it. It's interesting that once I had a physician in one of my classes, and a lady with terrible scoliosis. It means her back moved to the side. When she looked at letters upside down, her scoliosis moved more to the center. So the point is, don't strain. Look at the next paragraph and look at the spaces between the letters. Look at the next paragraph and look at the space between the letters. Then look at the next one and look at the spaces between the words. Then the next one and look at the spaces between the lines. And again, close your eyes and say, the ink is black, the page is white. Everybody, the ink is black, the page is white. Everybody, the ink is black, the page
The
is white.
page is white.
The ink is black, the page is white. Open your eyes, look again with your weaker eye. Now take the paper off and tell me, how does the print look to you right now? Any difference or no difference? If there is a difference, it's because you start to get the two eyes to work more together. And that's a very important part of the work we're doing. So I want us to do palming right now after everything we have done. We'll do it for a short moment, and it's going to be for about 6 minutes. The minimum amount of palming that makes a big difference is 6 minutes. All palming is good. Even closing my eyes for a short moment is good. But after 6 minutes, all the waste product in the retina gets destroyed. What happens is, much of the vision that we have, our brain blocks, and it blocks in a specific area called the thalamus. And then when we are in the dark, those chemicals return to the retina, and there's epithelial cells in the retina that destroy that area. It basically was what we call K plus or potassium. And after 6 minutes, we really vacate all the toxins and all the waste products, and then we allow ourselves to start from the beginning to work on ourselves. That's why in about 70% of my cases, I don't do it all the time, but 70%, I start most of my sessions with palming, because palming helps relax the eyes enough that we can start and activate them better. So rub your hands as quickly, as hard as you can. And I have what's called a palming stick, because I can adjust it to go up and down. Okay, I can adjust it all I want to go to any direction that I need. And then what happens is I sit, and my neck should not go up and my neck should not go down, basically. Okay, so I'm going to turn the lights off here, and you can turn the lights off in your room. And one thing is so important. This is the deficit, one of the deficits we have of me not being around you. Your touch around the eye should be so soft. I mean, the eye should be nourished by the hands, not ever pressed. So you don't touch the eyes themselves, but you put your palms on your cheekbones and you breathe deeply and slowly. So I want you to count 6 when you inhale. And 9 as you exhale. So we're going to spend a minimum 6 to 8 minutes as we do this palming. Try to be as comfortable as you can be on your chair. Take pillows to put over a table and breathe deeply and slowly.
Are your eyes open or closed?
They are closed. But they're closed so gently as if you're about to go to sleep. They're not closed firmly. They're closed though. And you visualize that you're seeing the black color. And you breathe in and out. This is one of the better times to observe your breathing, to allow your breathing to be deep and slow.
Should the right hand be over the left hand?
I like that, but it's not necessary. I'm doing it like this, yeah? Or left over the right, doesn't matter. But it could be the 2 hands separate or 1 hand over the other. And you breathe deeply and slowly. And you can listen to your best podcast as long as, first of all, you see darkness. I have a girl that, the same girl I told you about, she started to listen to stories this way, but she stopped paying attention to her breath and to the darkness. And you have to pay attention to that. your breath. And visualize you see dark. Alexa, play Blue Sky with Willie Nelson.
Sure, Blue Skies by Willie Nelson from Spotify.
Sky smiling at me. With the blue sky, line sea, blue bird singing songs. Blue sky from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Never seen the days going by when you love. My heart is flying by the day. All of them gone. Nothing but blue sky from now on. Sky, smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies till I see. Blue day, all along. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue skies smile at me. Nothing but blue skies. I see days are gone, nothing but blue sky from now on. Blue sky smile at me. Nothing but blue sky. I see. Days of them gone. Nothing but blue sky. From now on.
So breathe deeply. Again, count 6 as you inhale and 9 as you exhale. Visualize you see darkness. And slowly take your hands off. So palming could be very restful, very useful, and blinking is very good after that. And one thing that you can do is look at the ceiling and move your eyes in rotating motion at the ceiling, look from corner to corner of the ceiling. Unfreezing ourselves while being rested is the art. The art is to improve through relaxation, not with tension. So I'm opening right now the floor for more questions. I'm sure they'll come. And we have for another 20 minutes, we can work with you.
If you have a question, please raise your hand and then unmute yourself.
Anybody has a question?
Tell me more about blinking.
Sure. Blinking is something that many people who use computer do less of. Let me give you the negative thing. You give us 30 seconds, okay? All of you, open your eyes and don't blink. Don't blink for 30 seconds. Don't move them. Don't blink them. Okay. Did you feel the eyes may have dried a little bit? Didn't feel so good not blinking? Well, people need to blink 22 times a minute. So we need to blink a lot. So a good way to start to blink is to massage around the eyes. To put pressure here, massage. What can also help you blinking, you'd be surprised, but to lie down with cold towels around the eye orbits. Close your eyes and put cold towel, and already makes it easier to blink. And let's do an exercise there. Rub your hands and cover one eye and then cover the other. And you blink with one, blink with the other. Let's do it for 50 times. Ten.
You can do.
20. 30. So you cover and close, cover and close. 40. 50.
Are you blinking both eyes or just the one eye that you're covering?
That's the one I'm covering. Let's do it for another 10 times in case somebody didn't understand it. So again, cover and then close the one you cover, open the one you don't. Close the one you cover, open the one you don't. Let's do it 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 20. So blinking is very important, and the eyelid have to be very light, not heavy. So sometimes we can close the eyes and very, very gently massage the eyelids. We can also stroke the eyelashes to make it really easy for us to blink. And so, for example, you can close your eyes and visualize that the eyelashes lengthen all the way down to your belly. And then you shorten them until you get to the eyelids, and then you blink. So that's a very nice image to lengthen the eyelashes and to shorten them. By the way, the eyelashes are like an antenna. So if there is wind, you blink a lot, right? So the more we blink, the better. Dry eyes is a very bad phenomenon that can, by the way, be resolved with looser middle back, cold towels, and a lot of blinking. Okay, any other questions?
Okay, Rick S has a question. Please unmute yourself. Rick S.
Yeah, thank you.
What does
Thank
S
What's
stand-
best for cataracts?
Oh, 1 second, sorry. Can we have Rick S ask the question, please?
I can answer the question though, number one.
Okay.
So what's best for cataract is looking at a distance. If you have beginning of cataract, looking at a distance for 40 minutes a day, 8 minutes times 5, waving the hands to the side, often covering the eye that sees better, and looking with the weaker eye, scanning the horizons, as it's well described in my book, Vision for Life. You can look at it and work with it. That can help you to stop the cataract from growing and to make the lens more flexible, so you never need a surgery. Now, if the cataract has already become very, very opaque, like I worked with somebody last Sunday, and the cataract was very, very, very opaque, to the extent that she could hardly see, but we did work with blinking light in the dark, and with feeling different objects and seeing them, then at that point, I recommend cataract surgery. But with 6 month or 8 month preparation with me to make the eye maximally strong so the surgery will not create problems, because often they do. Often retinal detachment surgery causes cataract. Cataract surgery causes retinal detachment, and both of them could cause glaucoma. So just understand, one thing is missing in medicine: physiotherapy for the eye and the brain. That's what we're doing here. Okay. Now, Rick, yes. Rick, can you
Yes.
talk to me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can. What does the S stand for?
That's my last name, Cisco.
Cisco. Okay, good. Go ahead.
So thank you for the class. It's a great class. Thank you. I have your book, and it's a wonderful book. I always had a very good vision. Like even Dr. joked that I could play for Mets. Like I had 2010 or 2015 vision. Unfortunately, I had a loss, emotional loss, and even with the couple with the COVID, I started to have a lot of anxiety. And now I really almost don't see through my left eye, which is like a horrendous experience for me. I mean, for anybody, but I never had that before. So
Oh,
how
yeah,
can I start
2010 is
working?
amazing. 2010 is fantastic vision. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a long past though. That's long gone for me. But I somehow the right eye is still compensating for the left eye. Well, thank you for the compliment. But you know, right eye is compensating for the left eye, and I'm at a loss. You know, I don't know what to do. I believe in
So we have
exercise, but
exercises. We have exercise for that in
Oh.
vision. Every day, you walk for 10
Okay.
minutes. 10 minutes with these glasses, yeah? And
Okay.
did we send them a Melissa? We didn't.
Yeah, they have them.
So can get me one and we can all do that. So I walk with these glasses. I throw and catch like this, yeah? Throw and
Right.
catch. And I look at things, I can look at, so the thing that if the problem is emotional, and I have a person you can contact if you want to work with you on your emotions. His name is Mitch. But if the problem is emotional, you have to work the emotions out, because you need to look through the weaker eye. You have to
Right.
put it on. You need to work with your weaker eye as much as you can, because if you don't work with the weaker eye, there will be a very big problem here in that the weaker eye will get weaker all the time, and the stronger eye will strain too much. So I'm also putting this on, if all of you have this paper that you made for yourself, and I'm doing it from both sides, this way. And I'm taking my ball, it could be any ball, I'm taking specifically a tennis ball, and I'm throwing it from hand to hand above the head. Okay, so from one side to the other like this. And the big thing about it, if you put this paper on, if you look at through your left eye and you close the left eye, you can't see it. If you look through your right eye and you close the right eye, you can't see it. So each eye sees it in a different place. So what you do is you take the ball, you clap and catch, and you can run in place, and then after a few minutes, you can take this off. So you can work on getting them to work together. And we have a lot of work with red and green glasses where each eye sees different color and we get the eyes to work together. There's a lot you can do to get the eyes to work together, and we can get you a lot of your vision back.
Thank you. And the person that I can contact, you said, how would I go about
His name
it?
is Mitch. Let me see his phone number since I turned my phone off. We had all kinds of hacks today.
Just to
so-
let you know, my left eye is actually not functional. I think the emotions brought it on, but it got worse. So I think
Yes,
by
we
now
have
it's
to- So we have to make it functional. Hey Siri, what's the phone number of Mitch? Say Mitch Hall. Hey Siri, what's the phone number of Mitch Hall?
Mitch Hall's phone number is 510-708-5296.
510-708-5296. Again, 510-708. Can you write in the chat?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
You have it correctly, right? Good. So you can, I really recommend him. He's fantastic. Everybody I sent to him loves him. And he's.
And what does he do?
He will do is your talk therapy.
Talk therapy. Thank you. And just one more question quickly. I know other people also may want to ask. The Vision for Life 8 hour a day, would that be in person or would you consider doing also
No,
via Zoom?
only in person, only in person. Only in, I'm kind of old fashioned. I believe in contact. That's the only way for you to massage you and things of that nature. Maybe in the future, I will do part classes online and part in person. At this point, I'm more like the classes in person. You know, I used to read Braille. I love to do body work. I don't call it massage because it helps movement. And I'm very tactile. I like to meet people.
Okay. The program you're gonna have at the end of this month, is this it?
This is it. Yeah.
This is it, the 8 hours a day. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you and your team.
Any other questions? Please raise your hand.
No more questions?
I have a question. I'm sorry, I didn't get to the hand raising. Is there a specific exercise that I can do for my weak right eye that used to be called the lazy eye that I didn't get the operation for?
Of course. We talked about it, didn't we? That, for example, you put these glasses, walk with them, throw and catch a ball, you know?
Okay.
Then we have glasses, we have exercise with red and green glasses. The exercise that you put the paper between the eyes and throw the ball from side to side. So each eye works separately. But quite a few exercises you can do for your lazy eye.
I just ordered the book Vision for Life, so I'll be doing all of that.
I'm proud of you. Good.
Thank you. Thank you for your help. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Brenda Thompson. Please unmute
Yeah,
yourself.
you might have answered. I came in late. Dry eyes. What can I do with dry eyes?
Well, the main thing to do with dry eyes is to loosen up the middle back and to work a lot on blinking. And those exercises are in my book, Vision for Life and Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. So you can work with those exercises to loosen up your middle back and to bring more tears to your eyes with blinking. Okay.
Thank you.
Joanne Arneson.
Do you advise stents for glaucoma?
You mean to drain the fluid?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about it. I mean, people do it and it looks very successful for a while, but like anything else, it weakens the eye. So no, I don't. I work with people who had it to help them survive it, but basically it looks fantastic for a while. There is less pressure. For some reason, people lose vision anyway. Explain that to me. And the answer is the visual system becomes weaker, including the optic nerve. Now, it's different from case to case. Some people take it easier. Some people take it harder. It depends on the person. Okay.
Denise. Hi, Denise, please unmute yourself.
Denise, we're waiting.
Okay, thank you for waiting. If you already lost sight, I lost sight already in my right eye, which was my dominant eye. So my understanding is because I lost one vision, which was my dominant, now I use my left. I had both glaucoma and cataracts in both eyes. Now, my question is, given that I have lost one side, it was already imbalanced from what I'm learning from you. But now that I've lost vision from, I can't see from my right eye anymore, that means it's even more imbalanced.
Even no light, even not light?
Even though that I have lost vision in one eye.
No, let me ask you the question.
What?
You lost a lot of vision in your right eye, you're saying, right?
That's correct. I can't see from it.
Do you have light perception there?
No,
None.
when I cover it, I cannot see.
Did they do any cataract surgery with you there?
No, I don't have any cataract surgery. The only surgery I had was iridotomy on the left eye, which was the the one that could see a little bit more. But
Why don't they want to do a cataract surgery in the right eye? They're saying there's no point.
They had mentioned that to me, but I was afraid of surgery, so I didn't do it. But now
Well,
that
that's a
I'm
mistake.
hearing,
That's a mistake. You don't see
that was
anything.
okay. So
Would
is
they
it-
do it now, or they say it's too late?
no, they didn't. No, I haven't seen. That was a long time ago when I could still see it, but not very well. But I could still see. I haven't seen them. They've given up on this eye. They say when I could still see a little bit, the surgeon said, we'll do the iridotomy on the left eye. They kind of ignored the right eye altogether. They just say, oh, we'll just give the energy to the left eye because it can still see. The right eye is already so weak, they gave up on it. And they say, oh, if we do anything to the right eye, you're going to say, oh, but it doesn't work. But they never did anything to it. So my question is, with these exercises, do I still do it even though I don't see it? Like, for example, the Melissa exercise. I mean,
No, the
will it?
exercise is useless for you. We have
Yeah.
another exercise called medicina, where we put a small paper. Do you have
The little one?
green one?
I have the little piece of paper. Is that what you mean?
The thin one, right? Called medicina, where you put it from the forehead to the cheek, and then you throw the ball from hand to hand. But let's talk about your total work. I would work a lot on the left eye to improve it.
Right.
And then I would find a courageous surgeon who would try to remove the lens from the right eye. I mean, what can you lose? You don't see
Right.
anything anyway, right?
Right.
Why not do the surgery and see if light penetrates, can you see something?
Right.
So I heard about a story of a guy that went to 5 surgeons because he had both macular degeneration and cataract. And no surgeon wanted to do a surgery on him. Okay, no surgeon. And then he went to a 6th surgeon who did cataract surgery, and he saw 20/20. Okay.
Wow.
So you can't decide now that you see nothing just because they think so. So, for example, I don't know if I have a patch here. I should have a patch here somewhere. But if I don't, let's say that this is a patch, okay? But you need a proper patch. We have 200 proper patches, just not in this room right now, okay? So, don't
You
worry
mean
about
that I have these patches that covers the entire eye? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but you don't need to put patch because you already have a patch. You have your cataract in your right eye, right?
Right. I mean, and glaucoma also.
Yeah, yeah. So what you do is, in the left eye, you put this piece of paper right in the center. See what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And, I work with quite a few people that have vision only in one eye, and I work with that specifically. So, so what I do is I put this piece of paper in the middle, and then I'll take a ball and I throw it from hand to hand like this.
Right.
And
Oh,
then
it's the same. It's the same principle as the Melissa, except you do it to one eye.
Exactly. Exactly. And we have 3 sizes paper, and sometimes we wave the hands to the side. So it's good you're asking the question. You can definitely exercise the left eye and see better with it and see more expensively with it. And then I would really recommend that you meet a courageous surgeon who would remove the lens in your right eye because you have nothing to lose.
I have nothing to lose except my money.
What is your money comparing to your eye?
Nothing, no contrast.
Why do you even mention that?
Okay. Because I have limited funds, but it's okay. I'll work on it. The Melissa, is that a quarter of an inch? How,
It's,
what?
it's,
3?
a third of a centimeter, half a centimeter, and a centimeter. So it's from less than a quarter of an inch to a quarter of an inch to 3/4 to a quarter of an inch to half an inch. Okay, so you have 3 sides.
Can you say it again? I didn't get that.
I do it with centimeters, so it's basically half a centimeter.
What? Half a centimeter?
Half a centimeter, 3/4 of a centimeter.
3/4.
Less than a centimeter. And it's good if you came to one of my classes because we would really fit the right paper for you.
Okay. Okay, so let me repeat if I understand you. Half a centimeter, 3/4 of a centimeter, and a little less than 1 centimeter.
Exactly.
So a little bit between 3/4 and 1 centimeter.
Exactly.
Half a centimeter, 3/4, and a little bit bigger, but not quite 1 centimeter.
Many exercises with it. One is the ball, one is to wave the hands to the side and look straight in the paper. There's so many exercises with it. I work with many people who have vision only in one eye, and their vision normally improves. Okay, next question before we have to finish.
Okay, Eric Saxon. Please unmute yourself, Eric Saxon.
Hello, Meir.
Hi.
I've written to you before. I have similar problems as the preceding person. I have to have cataract surgery in one eye. I have vision in one eye, and I have glaucoma in also. I'm wondering.
Same eye, in the same eye.
Sorry?
The cataract and glaucoma are in the eye that you have vision?
They both have glaucoma and cataracts, but one has no vision. It's very similar to the person.
Why would you start to do the cataract surgery with the eye that has no vision?
Could you repeat that, please?
If I were you, the first surgery I would do is with the eye that has no vision to see if it works for you.
Okay.
That's
Now,
the first.
there's a choice of 2 lenses for cataract replacement. One is for close-up and one is for far. Do you have any preference for those 2 choices?
My preference is from far. And if you end up doing both eyes and they're both so, then both of them should be from far. You can then fix and see from near, either with eye exercises or with glasses.
So you recommend far for both?
Yeah. Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. I would, yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Our time is up, but you can call our school. You can write the number 415-665-9574, and I'll be glad to answer all your questions afterwards. And thanks the Silicon Valley Health Institute, I should call it Holistic Health Institute or Smart Living, for making this platform possible.
And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you give the phone number one more time?
Thank you.
Yes,
can I have the phone number?
415-665-9574.